Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20 and welcome to episode 24 of Direwolf20's Space Engineers series. I'm playing with my new large welder ship. Hopefully that turns them all off. Yes. I decided like 2 welders is cool, but maybe 6 would be better. As a result, I went ahead and did this. Nice. Check that out. That is cool. So I did 6 welders instead of just 2. I'm very interested to see how this works out for me. And as you can see, I've got my ship kind of ready to go here. I think this group was lights. For some reason, I lost my lights. Where'd they go? Spotlights, right? Did I like lose them? You know what? I think I know what happened. When I broke I had to grind down my welders to rotate them. They were rotated the wrong way. And I bet my spotlights got disconnected from my ship when I did that. Oh yeah, see, this one's tilted. Yeah. The only thing they were really holding on to was the welder, and I took the welder away. So, makes perfect sense. Let's do this, and you might be able to... No, probably not, but that's okay. I should have the resources to weld them by hand, because I grown them out just a minute ago. I really want to try out this ship, like building a cool room or something. I just have one problem. I'm not sure exactly what room I might want to build, so I'm going to figure that out in the next minute or two, decide what I want to build, and then we're going to build it using this cool and fancy new ship that I made, huh? So I wanted to also show you guys, let's see here. So let's go into our control panel, and we'll make these lights. There we go. We'll bring the radius up, the intensity down. That should be cool. Okay. And then we don't need to show them on the terminal, nor do we need to do that with the welders. Cool. So let's take a look at the cargo component. So I went with 4,000 of everything for the most of the stuff. Steel plates, I have 15,000. Construction components, I've got 10,000. And then I have slightly less of reactors, power cells, thrusters. They're less used, and they're pretty heavy in terms of mass. And medical, I figure I very rarely, if ever, need medicals, so like, why bother carrying them around? If you check in our inventory, though, like, I'm using about half, and almost everything is full in there. So if I were to, for example, engage my lock here and take a look at cargo, it should suck in some more alloy plates, because those have been producing. They didn't have quite enough of those. Yeah, so about that many, not bad at all. About half full. So I could probably bump this up to be a little bit more. In fact, let's go ahead and change our control panel. The welder, I'm going to make the default component amount like 5,000. Does that sound like a cool plan? Yeah, that's what's up. Nice. And I'm thinking 15,000 each of steel and construction components. Probably enough for now. So I'm going to disengage that lock, get out of here, and decide what I want to build right now, because it's definitely time to build something cool. I wouldn't mind a large grinding station to grind down any ships that I don't need anymore, but I was also considering that this might work as a pretty nice grinder system as well. Like, this might be a nice grinding ship. Like, make another one of them and put grinders instead of welders. Might not be a terrible idea. But we also have like a grinding one of these things. But in testing, I've found that it works pretty well, but there's some things we need to do to get it to work really well. And I've managed to get it to work pretty well. So I might want to work on that as well. So there's a lot that I could do with... I probably wouldn't mind a grinding ship, because there's things I'm probably going to want to get rid of at some point. But we'll see. For now, let's decide what I'm going to build. So how's my refining going? So refineries broke in the last patch. So the last patch fixed a few things and then broke refineries, which stinks. The problem is that they won't refine until you log out and log back in. So they'll finish the stack that they're currently working on. So like it's working on this platinum here, for example. You'll notice these guys are running cobalt. I picked up some more cobalt because I was low. So like when this cobalt stack is gone, the nickel and platinum will be stuck and it won't go. But close out of the game and log back in and you'll be fine. So that's kind of where we're at. So this platinum isn't refining because it probably had a stack in front of it. So it's just a little bit of a nuisance, but it's something we can deal with. How is our production things going? Nice. We're making superconductors. I was making a bunch of those. We might want to make a few more alloy plates while we're at it, like maybe a couple thousand. That might not be a bad idea. And you can see, obviously, I've tweaked some of the numbers here in terms of how much to keep stocked at all times. So most things are at 4 or 5K. I should probably bump up the rest of the 4s to 5s now that I told the ship to hold 5. But we're at like 12K for construction components and that kind of stuff. But we have plenty of iron for now, so that's cool. All right, let's get to building something neat, shall we? All right, I figured out what I'm going to build today. There's one thing that's been kind of bothering me for a bit, and that is I don't have anywhere to dock my ships. Sure, I've been hooking them up to connectors here and there, but like an actual, like, let's dock the thing, like let's put it somewhere that it belongs, short of just leaving it floating in space, not really had anything to do. So I'm going to check out a couple cool things today. But first, let's get our welders on. Boom. It is welding time. Nice. So these guys are welding quite quickly, as you can see, and my cargo hold of 15,000 steel plates will probably last me a while. So I'm going to weld all this stuff up, and then we'll be back in a few minutes. All right, so just used up 15,000 steel plates. Luckily, I had that much in reserve, ready to go, so that next time I could come home and get some. Let's get these guys welded up again. Dun, 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 dun. Dude, I'm loving this new welding ship, let me tell you. Like, it is awesome. I should probably consider putting some shields on this thing just as a precaution in case I bump into anything, because I don't think it's terribly sturdy, especially with bulletproof glass all over the place. I mean, that's not quite as good as armor blocks. It looks nice, but it's probably not quite so sturdy. Oops, I missed a spot. Welder's off. There we go. Weld that up for me. Nice. So what are we gonna make? That's cool. There's a couple ways you can lock ships in Space Engineers, and one of them is a landing gear. So there's the vanilla landing gear, which is cool, and then there's a modded landing gear, which is also cool. Let's take a look. So we can place this here, like so, and ships can kind of hold on to that landing gear. So let's demonstrate that in a moment here. So that's what the two of these look like. I'm not 100% sure the difference between the modded and vanilla ones, I'll be totally honest. But I'm not going to use landing gears, because while they're cool, there's a modded item that has the same functionality as landing gears that I would like to try. So let's take a look at our platform. Remote control. So let's take a look at the landing gears, huh? So you can see lock or unlock, much like the connector. Its brake force, basically how strong will it hold on to the ship, and whether or not it will auto-lock, which is neat. So I'm going to put auto-lock on, and what we should see is as the ship approaches it, ta-da! As the ship approaches it, once I find my way out of wherever the heck I am inside the ship. That is cool. Not exactly where I intended to be. But you'll notice that the ship can't move. Like, I'm pushing buttons there. Look at my power usage, right? I'm hitting the thrust. Nothing's doing. Nice. Because the landing gear is engaged, right? Now, if I go to my platform, and we go to our landing gear, and we unlock this dude, I would suspect platform, landing gear. We'll turn off auto lock and unlock him. There we go. Nice. Cool. So that's what we're talking about. Let's repair any damage I may have done from all my thruster blasting that I was doing there. That's no fun. So that's neat, right? But I'm thinking, while those landing gears are cool-ish looking, I don't think that's what I want, to be exact. Also, why am I suddenly getting in and out of ships, like, where I don't want to be? Let's make sure there's, like, a block there or something. I don't know. I'll figure something out. I should probably put like a block there so I can't exit the ship in that spot. But anyway, grinding down landing gear, because they're nice, but they're not as cool as the thing that I want to show you guys, which is, dun 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 dun, Maglock surfaces. This is, again, a mod, which I think is pretty cool looking. So let's take a look at Maglocks. So there's a couple of them. There's the Maglock surface, there's the 3x3 Maglock surface, and there's this Maglock pad, and then there's the Maglock cube. So the cube, I think, is a full block size with a Maglock on it, and you'll notice that there's one particular spot that has the Maglock, so that's a full cube. You can also go with the Maglock surface, or you can go with a 3x3 log surface, which is apparently not available for station, which is news to me. I didn't know that. Or Maglock pad, and I'm pretty sure pads and surfaces are about the same, they just look different. So what do I like the looks of? I kind of like the Maglock surface, so let's put a few of them here. I'm gonna go like a 5x5 of these. I'm just gonna see how it looks. Now I haven't entirely decided like exactly what's gonna go where, nor have I decided how big these need to be. But let's see what we can figure out. So the only problem is these thrusters on the bottom here kind of stick out a little bit. But that's not the end of the world, but it would be really cool if they didn't. However, because of the internal workings of my ship here, they kind of have to. I could always have this thing land on the side or something, but I don't think that that's an ideal situation. I could have them back in as well, but the connector's sticking out the back. So I'm thinking landing on the bottom is probably your best bet. Let's get them welded up. See how awesome this welding ship is? I love it. And then we'll go into our platform here. Maglock surfaces, we'll call this landing pad 1. And we'll eventually maybe like name them, but we're gonna not show them on terminal, right? But landing pad 1 will be here, right? And I'm gonna fly my ship in to the landing pad. Zoom. Whoa, that's not good. That's not good at all. All right. So remember when I said I might want to get some shields on this ship? I feel like now's a good time. Okay, installed a projector. Let's get this ship fixed. Projector. That's a gyroscope. There's my projector. Toggle block on and off. Let's turn you off for the time being. You need to fly. Oh boy. Yes, we are having some difficulty flying, apparently. That's okay, that's to be expected. We're missing most of our thrusters. Let's get our projector platform, shipyard, toggle block on. Fly him into here. Self-repairing ships, there's a reason that I need them. Dyer is a bad pilot. There we go. Stuff's welding. That's good. Cool. I'm guessing I might be low on thrusters in the base. Platform, inventory, cargo. Are thruster components low? No. So maybe you're just still... working on stuff. I wouldn't mind you stopping at some point. Alright, let's turn the shipyard off and see what we're missing. Superconducting components. Gotcha. Platform. Shipyard on. Production. Come on now. There we go. Nice. We got one done. Cool. All right. Self-healing ship. That's the win. We just have to wait. There we go. Now we're talking. All right. Woot. Luckily, the cargo hold didn't break. If that thing had broken, I would have been very upset. All right, let's try landing that thing again. This time without damaging the ship. Should I throw shield projector on here? I don't even know. Cool. Let's go see what we can do about this. So what I wouldn't mind having is like some docking type stuff. So for example, see that welder for my blocks? Let's remote control him onto the mag pads. So if I were to pop him down there, and we went to our platform and said, landing pad 1, lock. Alright, maybe not have been low enough. There, now we're talking. Yeah, I can see the lights turning on down there. So now, platform, landing pad 1, lock. Nice. I can even actually, at this point, shut down my ship if I wanted to. I could, let's see, welder blocks. Looks like that's weird. Landing pads never used to, well, yeah, no, they're not locked. They're not connected. So if I were to turn off my reactors, I'm guessing the batteries are still on, and that's what's causing that. Nice, look at that, cool. So we can actually shut down the ship entirely, and as you can see, it's like completely off. That's not bad. Not bad at all, right? So I could either have those on auto lock. So there's a couple things I could do here. Let's try this. I would like to do the following. Yeah, I know what I'm going to want to do. Let's take a look. I want to do this. Let's have... I'd like it so that it auto-locks. I want to be able to push a button to release the ship and do a couple things at once. So that might require a timer. Alright guys, I'm back and making a few changes around here. Set up some more landing pads, and I want to try automating getting the ships onto the landing pads. I've had a lot of difficulty with Autopilot, but I'm hoping that we don't need them to be in such a perfect location for these landing pads, and therefore Autopilot might actually work out for us. So, I didn't put a sensor on the front of my ship. I probably should have put a sensor on the front of my ship, but I didn't. So, yeah, there's no sensor on the front of my welding ship. To-do list, put sensor on front of welding ship, and also get rid of glass. It looks great, but it is not in any way a good thing. Corpses also disappear now. They're supposed to leave backpacks behind, but that's not the experience that I've had. So, I don't know if that's... I think that's a bug. They're supposed to leave, like, backpacks, right? But they're not, so I don't know what's up with that. And the backpacks are supposed to contain their inventory, but frankly, I'm not that worried. So let's try automating this guy, right? So let's go in here. Let's make a group for reactors. We'll call it power. And what we're going to want to do is reactors and batteries. We'll name them power. Toggle block on. Everything's up and running again. Cool. We're going to... Oh boy. I probably should have realized what I named things before I welded them all. Platform. So I've got a lot of Maglock surfaces now. I'm going to turn them all off, and I'm going to show on HUD. Hello. Let's see. So this is 15, 14, 13, 12, 11. So 11 through 25 and then 114 through 123. 11 through 25 and 114 through 23. Well, you know what I'm going to do? Let's do this. So I named them all Maglock Surface 1, and then I made a group called Maglock Surface 1, right? So on, off, that looks cool, right? So we can go into our platform here. Maglock Surface 1. We will show block and terminal off, and show on HUD off. So that these are all cool. Perfect. All right. And then platform, Maglock Surface 1, off. But you're still remaining locked. You shouldn't be doing that. Unlock. Cool. And then Maglock Surface 1, off. Okay. So what I wouldn't mind doing is getting this ship into an autopilot type of setup. So let's do this. We'll take our welder. Is this welder blocks? Yes. We'll remote control him. Don't ask me why there's 2 remote controls all of a sudden. I don't know. I think what happened was he had his self-healing projector on, and he flew through the auto shipyard. And what I've seen happen sometimes is if you're moving really fast, the projection will lag behind like a second, and it'll create a projection behind the spot on the ship where it should be, and then it creates a new projection. So that's just something to keep your mind on about. So let's do this. Let's remote control. Problem is now I don't know which one's which. Whichever one is behind would be the wrong one. Pretty sure he was back here, wasn't he? That's a cargo container. Alright, all sorted. So let's take our welder blocks. We'll remote control him. We'll tilt him forward. And this is going to be the GPS coordinate of... we'll just do a new from current position. We'll say welder blocks. We'll call it actually dock so that we know. So dock, welder blocks. Cool. And then what I want to do is go up a little bit. And we will say new GPS coordinate. Welder dock distant welder blocks. Cool. And then we'll say remote control waypoints. Dock. I wish these GPS coordinates were in like some kind of order. Dock distant first, dock second. So dock distant, what we're going to do, we're going to make this one-way mode. We'll have precision mode off, because I'm not worried about it being super precision, right? When we get into welder blocks mode, we're going to set up actions. We're going to say the remote control starts going down. Okay. And then once it gets into position there, we're going to set up actions. We're going to say remote control goes back to forward mode. And we'll probably want to power things down at that point. So I'm going to go power, toggle block off. Okay. So in theory, what should happen is he should fly to the distant waypoint. He'll start deciding to move downward, and he'll fly to the docking position. And at that point, he'll go back to forward motion and then power himself down. Then what we want to do is have our platform, Maglock Surface 1, we're going to switch you to auto lock mode. Cool. So as soon as your ship gets near to position, it's just going to automatically lock. So let's, whoa, hello, Dizzy. So that should be cool. So I'll make sure everything's good in here. All right. So let's try it out, shall we? So there's my antenna. We're going to do welder blocks. I like the antenna to show the ship name. And we're going to do remote control, autopilot on. So what he should do is fly to dock distant welder blocks. And he's not in precision mode, so he goes pretty quick. Cool. And then we can go downwards. Up, and see? That's the spinning bug that I've been talking about. So a lot of people have said that this spinning bug is a result of the ship's remote control not being in the center of the mass of the ship. So this has nothing to do with it. This is what happens when an autopilot shuts off. I was hoping that it would get close enough to the maglocks that it wouldn't be an issue, but it looks like it didn't. So let's, and here's like the crazy part of this bug, right? Pause and unpause the game and it stops spinning. So that's absolutely a bug. Like there's no question about that. That is not a result of the remote control not being in the center of the ship. It is 100% like a weird, strange bug that occurs. So anyway, if we were to, you notice he didn't actually even get to the point where he shut down his power. Like he should have shut down and he didn't. So if we let this guy go down low enough, oh, you know what? The maglocks weren't engaged probably. Platform, maglock surface 1. Yeah, let's toggle them on, right? I mean, we can try it again, but I have a feeling it's going to do the spinny thing, which is bad. So, remote control. It's anytime autopilot shuts off. So I've tested this where like the autopilot turns itself off, right? Oh, look, he's going downward now because that thing didn't occur, but that's okay. So let's see. The maglevs might grab it before. There we go. See, look, one maglev grabbed it, which is good enough for me, right? Like, that's cool. He's probably at this point either still in autopilot mode or not. No, he's not. He's probably trying to spin right now because, and I know that because he didn't, you know what I could do? If I put this in patrol mode, let's do that. In patrol mode, he's going to try and go to the next point. It's whenever autopilot shuts off that things don't work, right? So that might be cool. So let's set up actions on the remote control welder block 2. And I'm going to have remote control toggle block off. Where's remote autopilot off? Cool. So this actually should fix it. Let's try it out. So the other thing I'm going to want to have here is like a timer block or two. And for now, I'm just going to put it here, but I'll probably move these later. Let's get our large welder. Oh, that's right. I didn't have a camera on him. Where is my large welder? There he is. Ah. And I'll manage all the other maglocks in a bit. Probably between episodes or something. Cool. I should also throw the sensor on there so that I don't weld myself anymore, but we'll get to that. So we'll do timers. So timer 4 will be timer maglock 1 off and timer maglock on. And what we're going to do is we're going to say that the moment that I hit you, so 1 second delay, we're going to say that the group maglock surface 1, so landing pad still group, we're going to get rid of him. In fact, let's do that now so that we don't get confused. Landing pad, see you later. Maglock surface 1 is the group that we want to do, right? So timer. So when we want it off, what we're going to do is we're going to say unlock toggle block off. Okay. And then we want to grab the timer maglock on start. And maglock on will be a, I don't know, 20, we'll do 10 seconds for now, but I might wind up bumping it up. And we will say maglock surface 1 toggle block on. And that should be cool, right? If this doesn't work, I can do it with auto lock on off, but we'll see. Let's try it first. Cool. So let's start. So that should let my ship go. Welder blocks, remote control, fly away. And you can see timer 2 is blinking. And then when he's done blinking, the maglocks should re-engage. Cool. So let's fly him away. And then we will have remote control, autopilot on. Now, because he's in patrol mode, he should execute his commands that I gave him prior to everything, so that should be cool. Nice, look at that. So he landed, he shut himself down, and the Maglocks got him. Cool. Now what I could have is a one press button panel here. So one button panel. Small ship one button. These are 2 buttons. I would like a 1 button. 8 button elevator. Yeah, no. 1 button small slope. That's perfect, but it says it's for a small ship. And I guess that means that there's not available for station, right? 1 button ramp base. These are all small ship only, huh? That stinks. So let's see. I need steel plates to build these. I must be out of steel plates. So what I'd like to do is be able to come over to the ship, right? And I'm thinking right here. Good enough for me. Missing an interior plate, don't care. Timer, Maglock 1 off, start, right? So what I do is when I want my ship, I come over here, I say power on, I press the button, and see the spinning thing's happening. That's the bug that I was talking about. That wouldn't ideally happen, and then we can remote control him away. Hey, Direwolf 20, how's it going? Nice, right? And then when I'm done with my ship, right, we would say, all right, welder blocks, autopilot your way back home, and he should be able to find his way. Now, I don't have collision detection on. Honestly, I haven't tested that, but since the autopilot does such a great job of everything else, I really don't feel like playing with collision detection. There we go. Locked, powered off. Beautiful. I like it. Nice. And again, press button activates timer. I might move these timers. I'll probably throw them underneath each maglock or something like that, but the point is, that's pretty neat. All right, so what I'm going to do is wrap up the episode here. I'm going to configure all these maglock surfaces. They obviously won't always be showing like this. I'm going to set them all up as groups, get timers on them, and then I'm going to try and dock the rest of my ships, and I'm going to start deciding which of these I don't need anymore. Like this small little miner, I don't know why I would ever want him. So I might decide how I'm going to grind him down. And the same for this grinder. I think what I'd like to do, I haven't decided exactly how I want to do this. So I could build a grinding station like this, or I could build a grinding ship. I like the idea of the grinding station because that sounds like a fun build, and I get to have a little bit of fun with gravity and modded stuff. So I think I'm probably going to wind up doing that. But for now, wrapping up point, so maybe next episode we'll build the big welder. I think that's what I'm going to want to do, but we'll see. I don't know. I change my mind a lot because sometimes I'm like, yeah, let's do it that way, and then no, let's do it another way. So I don't know. We'll figure it out. For now, wrapping up. So Direwolf 20 signing off. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. We'll be back next time to A, figure out how to weld and grind and all that good stuff, and B, probably have some more docking fun. There we go. Lock and engage. How's my cargo hold doing? I've got 15k steel plates. Perfect. So I might also want to look at another type of assembler that can make steel plates a little bit faster, because I need so many all the time that they just take a really long time to produce. So I don't know. All right, guys, take it easy.